Welcome back to Apt4U. In this particular video, I will be basically discussing about recursion and backtracking and another problem on recursion and backtracking. So last video basically we discussed a problem where we were asked to generate all the possible strings of length n, right? And basically in that particular problem, the strings that were being formed were basically binary in nature, right? So to be more clear, in the previous video, suppose we were given n bits, okay, like we took n equal to 3, and we saw that in every bit positions we were allowed to take any two numbers, right? Either you can use 0 or 1. Here also you can use 0 or 1. Here also you can use 0 or 1. So basically the numbers that were being formed in the previous video, they were binary in nature. This particular problem is very much similar to the previous problem. The only difference is, instead of having only two choices, you can have k choices. And what will be k? That will depend upon the user. Okay, that means, to be more precise, the problem says that you have to basically print all the possible strings of length n, given you can use a you have to form a k-ary number. What is k-ary number? Now we know that if k is equal to 2, we will get binary number, because we can use any digits from 0 to k minus 1, that is 0 to 2 minus 1, 0 to 1, right? What if k equal to 3? If k equal to 3, it indicates that ternary numbers. So basically you can use any digit in place of bits. Either you can use 0 to 3 minus 1. Basically k minus 1 means 3 minus 1, 0 to 2. Which means you are allowed to use digit 0, digit 1, digit 2 in the place of bits. So suppose this is my bits. This is the bit 1, bit 2, bit 3. So basically, if I have to design a string of length 3 and given k is equal to 3. K equal to 3 means you can use ternary numbers. You have to basically print ternary numbers. So ternary numbers means those numbers which are formed using digits 0, 1 and 2. Okay. So here basically in every bit position I will be having three choices. Either I can use 0, 1 or 2, 0, 1 or 2. Here also you can use 0, 1 or 2, right? So this is how this number of choices will depend on the value k. If k is equal to 4, I will basically have 4 choices for every bit positions. For example, for k equal to 4, you can have 0, 1, 2 or 3. So every bit will have 4 choices. Either you can fill it with 0, 1, 2 or 3, and likewise for all the bits. Fine. So this is what the problem says. We have to print all possible strings of length n, and basically it should be a k-ary number. Now what is k? That will be that will be given by the user. So user will basically give n as input, which will basically be the length of the string, and k as input, which will basically indicate what type of numbers you want. Whether you want binary, so k equal to 2, ternary, k equal to 3, and so on. Fine. What will be the idea to solve this particular problem using recursion? So let me be very short and precise and talk to the point. Basically, suppose if I take n equal to 3, which means that I want to design 3-bit numbers. Alright, I want to basically talk about 3-bit numbers. So 0, 1 and 2. Getting the point? Now, since k is equal to 3, suppose the user enters k equal to 3. So basically, user wants to say that in every bit positions, you will have 3 choices to fill it with. Okay, so suppose k equal to 3, which means that I am allowed to use 0, 1 or 2. 3 choices. So we know that in the previous video, we were moving from right to left, isn't it? For designing the recursion equation. So what will we do? Suppose I am at this bit positions. Bit 1, this is bit 2, this is bit 3. So bit 1 can be filled with 0, can be filled with 1, can be filled with 2. So case 1, suppose bit 1 is filled with 0. So if bit 1 is filled with 0, I will assume that I have filled the bit. So I must now focus on the remaining bits, remaining n minus 1 bits. So what will I do? I will do a recursive call. So binary, I will do the binary on n minus 1. This is the recursive call. Also, this bit can be 1. So if the extreme right bit is 1, I can fill it with 1, isn't it? Then I will have to do the recursive call on the remaining n minus 1 bits. And if the extreme right bit is 2, basically I will have to do the recursive call on the remaining n minus 1 bits, right? So likewise you can see that if the value of k is m, so you have to go from 0 to m minus 1. Okay, these are the possibilities, and then you have to do the recursive call simultaneously. Okay, just after allocating the bit. So can we code this particular logic? Yes, definitely we can code this particular logic, and that is why you see we have used a for loop. Why? Because you know that whether the number is binary or ternary, we don't know. That will depend upon the user. So if the user enters some value k, we know that the extreme right bit can be filled with any digits from 0 to k minus 1, right? The extreme right bit can be filled with any digit from 0 to k minus 1. So that is why we are running a loop from 0 to k minus 1, and every iteration what we are doing, we are initializing the extreme right bit. This is where we are doing the initialization part. Okay, this is the initialization part. Extreme right bit is being initialized. Okay, and if you pay attention, see, j is basically an integer, right? But I want to store it into character form because the array here is character array. So in order to convert the integer to character, I have added it with plus and single quote 0. This will basically convert the corresponding integer to character. Okay, so that is what I did here, initialization part. Now just after this I will do the recursive call. So binary recursive call on what? The remaining strings, remaining part of the string. That is what I did here. Okay, similarly next time j will become 1. So basically this case 2, and then what will we do? We will initialize the extreme right bit with 1. So initialization will take place here, and again it will be followed by a recursive call on this remaining bits. Again when j will become 2, this particular case the extreme right bit will be initialized with 2, and there will be a recursive call on the remaining n minus 1 bits. So this will again do a recursive call. These things will again do a recursive call. This will again do a recursive call. So if you have visited my previous video, I have already shown you how to draw the recursion tree, right? So the same thing applies here. You can also have a recursion tree corresponding to this particular problem. Okay, but I hope the idea is very much clear. How did we get this particular code? So the idea or the intuition of getting this code is from this logic. Okay, because we have multiple choices. So this basically is acting as a choice. Okay, this for loop will give me different choices, and for every choice I have to perform 2 tasks: initializing the extreme right bit and calling the binary function for the remaining n minus 1 bits. Alright, so yeah, here is the code. So basically the logic is very simple. What we need to do is basically, as I said, we are declaring an array of size 32, character array. The binary function is defined. This is the base condition, right? We know that what will be the terminating condition. The terminating condition will be nothing but we are moving from right to left once you reach this particular bit. Okay, so this value will be, once this value is less than 1, once you come in this bit, basically you will find that okay, I have done filling all the bit positions. So you can then print the value of the array. Whatever is stored in the array, you can completely print all the bits stored in the array. Fine. So the terminating condition remains the same as one discussed in the previous video. What about the else part? Now else part, again, just now we had an intuition how is it actually working. So the same thing is written here in the code. Now I would like to show you one thing. If you ask whether writing the for loop is mandatory or not, so then I would simply say yes, it is mandatory if the value of k depends upon the user. For example, if you see this particular problem here, what I have done, I have unrolled this particular for loop for k equal to 3. Suppose I am using k equal to 3, then if you are using k equal to 3, we already know what is going to happen. First of all, I will initialize the extreme bit with 0 and then do a recursive call. Second time I will initialize it with 1 and do a recursive call. Third time initialize with 2, do a recursive call. So this thing and this particular code remains the same for k equal to 3. Okay, but what about k equal to 4? For k equal to 4, what can I do? I just have to add one more pair here. So I'll just add array n minus 1 is equal to 3, and again you will do a recursive call below. So rather than increasing the length of the code and increasing the overhead, what we can do, we can just simply reduce the size of the code by converting it into a for loop. So here the for loop reduces our overhead. Okay, and it makes things very much clear and short. So that is how the code is actually working. I have already discussed the working of the code. Here we are taking the inputs from the user and then calling the function. So let me just quickly run the code and see what is the output. So we know that we have taken n equal to 3 and k equal to 3. So let us see what is the possible outputs for n equal to 3 and k equal to 3. So if I take n equal to 3 and k equal to 3, you can see these are all the strings that are being generated here. Okay, so let me increase the size. So yeah, here it is. So for n equal to 3, k equal to 3. So let us just develop a mathematical intuition. So n equal to 3, k equal to 3, which means that every bit you will have 3 choices because k is equal to 3. The choices are 0, 1 or 2. Here also you will have 3 choices. Here also you will have 3 choices. So total possible pairs are 3 into 3 into 3, right? So total possible strings that can be generated are 3 power 3, which is nothing but 27. So if you count these, you will see 27 strings are generated, and it is basically a ternary string. Why ternary? Because I have used k equal to 3, and every bit position is either using a digit 0 or 1 or 2. Fine. So that's all from my side. I hope this video was quite intuitive and helpful. In case of any feedback, Your suggestions are most welcome. And thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe for more interesting videos. Thank you.